Hi guys, this is Matt with How to Buy a Car. This is lesson 10, the final showdown. So guys, this is what we've been working towards this entire time. This is what the whole course is about. This is going to be the time where you are going to actually negotiate on a car that you want. All right, guys. So before we get into negotiations and everything like this lesson requires this checklist. Okay, so we have to have all of this complete before we're going to go into our negotiations. So have a few cars picked out. If you know exactly what car you want, great. But at this point, it's okay to have a couple different models and a couple different trims and different things you're interested in. Okay, just have a few. All right, and know what, again, type of car you're really interested in. This goes back to one of our earlier lessons of picking out a car. But again, you should have a couple select cars picked out that you're mostly interested in. Know your budget and ballpark monthly payment. Again, if you've been watching these lessons and you saw breaking down the lease or breaking down a finance, you'll know exactly what your ballpark monthly payments look like on these cars you're interested in. And this is going to give us a better idea of what cars might be more in our price range and might be more of our interest. Okay, guys. So know what you owe on your trade if you owe anything, and again, know the market value of your car. This goes back to the trade lesson where we explained how to get appraisals done and how to find the market value on your car. Know the terms that you want, guys. So be a informed consumer, right, guys? Know what you're already looking at. Hey, I know the ballpark monthly payment I'm looking at is $500 a month, and I was looking at 36-month lease. Okay, know the terms that you want going in, and it gives you just a lot more negotiation strength when it comes time to, hey, why don't we do a longer term or short? No, I know my numbers. I know where everything has to be. Okay. Know what it's going to do to your insurance, guys. So this is the last thing we want, right? You work out all these numbers, you work everything out, you get the car you're interested in, and then you call the insurance last minute, and they say, oh, it's going to be $120 more a month for that car. Wow, that changes everything in a heartbeat. And again, this is something you can check at home, guys. You can call your insurance company or go on their website most likely and just update the info on your policy to try it out, see what the change will actually do. Okay, again, and if we're leasing, guys, collect residual, money factor, manufacturer incentives, and financing. Okay, we've gone through these in multiple different lessons about how to collect these. I'm not going to go into it here, but you're going to want to have all this so that you know when numbers come over from a dealership exactly how they got them and exactly where they came from. So guys, if you have all of this done, if you have all of these done and you've gone through all the other lessons, then let's go ahead and let's move right into the final showdown. All right, so starting at the very top, guys, our negotiations will start on the 18th of the month. And a reminder, guys, this means the negotiations. This does not mean picking out a car or ballparking budgets or any of this. Okay, this has to be done prior to getting to this point. So now that we're going to start negotiations, and again, I know the 18th of the month is very specific. If you can't get to a dealership on the 18th of the month, try anywhere from the 17th to the 21st. Okay, that's a good little span. I'm hoping that you guys can catch a weekend or a day that works for you in those days, but the end of the month, but not far enough into the end of the month where we're going to start getting pressured and we're going to start worrying about things changing on us, right? So it's test drive time, guys. I know you've probably been waiting for this. When do we go to a dealership? When do I get to drive cars? Well, the worst thing you can do is, you go too early and you don't know any type of car you're interested in, and you end up kind of just letting the salesman, push you into different cars and try different things, and you can kind of get starstruck when you're first looking at new cars. And again, a dealership's going to take advantage of anything they can. If you get excited because it's the first day you're thinking and looking at cars, and they can amp you up and get you to do the paperwork on it, they will. So guys, at this point, we know all the different cars we're interested in. We have a lot of information built up. We can now just use this dealership as a test drive, right? So we're going to go down to the dealership on one of these days that we can get down there towards the end of the month. We're going to test drive all the different cars that we're interested in. We are not there to negotiate, guys, okay? We are not there to negotiate. You can give them your contact info. That's fine, but do not negotiate, and make it clear when you get there. I'm not in the state of I'm not in the place in my process of negotiating today. I'm here just to drive the car to see if I like it. Okay, I'm not negotiating. I'm not buying a car today. Make it very clear. So go down, have some fun, guys. Drive your cars. All right. For our actual negotiation. So once you've done this, you'll know which car is the one, right? You'll have a much clearer idea of, hey, I know these two cars are the only ones I'm interested in. Maybe it's going to come down to price, but for this example, we're just going to use one car. So we've picked out a car. It's a 2020 Ford Focus that we want to lease, and now we have to start talking to dealerships. So guys, we're going to be talking to 3 dealerships. Okay, you are going to use a dealer that is slightly out of town. Okay, when I say out of town, I don't mean 2 states away. That could be 30 miles out of your town, just not very close to you, not super local. All right, but we are going to also be speaking with 2 local dealers. Okay, guys. So why are we doing this, right? Why are we using 3 dealerships, 2 local, 1 out of town? It seems specific. Well, it is. So an out of town dealership's incentive to give you a really good discount is that you're just close enough where they might be able to get your business, but they know that because you're a little bit out of their area, it's gonna come down to most likely them giving you the best price, but they can steal you from the other local dealerships. And remember, if you're looking to lease a 2020 Ford Focus, you're talking to 3 Ford dealers. You're talking to 3 dealers that are each other's competitions, and they're not that far away. So when you call this dealership that's out of town, you might get on the phone with someone, and the dealership might say, hey, why do you want to get this car from us? You have 2 dealers nearby, closer than we are. And you can tell them honestly, hey, I'm an informed consumer. I know I'm interested in the Ford Focus. I know I want this lease for this many miles, and I want to get this payment. I want to get this monthly payment, and this is where I want to be at the sales price. Wow. You give them all of that information, you make it easy for them, they will make you a deal to try to steal you from your 2 local dealers. At the same time, 2 dealerships that are near each other, close to you, are both going to want you because you're a customer that's close to the store, right? So not only will you be a new client, but you're going to spread a good message of your experience locally to other people in the area who will then come down to buy. So you're more valuable to them than you are to the out-of-town dealerships for that reason. Also, once these 2 know that you're talking to both of them, it becomes a little bit of a rivalry, right? You're both Ford dealers or you're both Honda dealers in the same town or the same area, so you're aware of each other's presence, and you know that the other person's going to try to get that sale away from you. So guys, the reason we're using 3 dealerships is for leverage against one another. Okay, we're going to use them to go against each other. So how do we determine what price we're going to ask at a dealership? Now, I know that we just came off of Magic Numbers. That lesson pretty much explained how to find a dealership's true cost on a car. But remember, guys, that not every single car is going to be a car that we can get for cost. The market is going to determine what the best deals people are getting on these cars are. So if they're selling a lot of these cars, necessarily it doesn't mean they're going to be willing to discount to cost, because they don't have to. There's a customer out there waiting for it. So what we can do is we're going to check the market. We're going to go to TrueCar. You're going to find the best price point on the little graph that TrueCar offers you. Once you enter all the information on what car you want, TrueCar will tell you, hey, this is the average price people paid, and this is the best price anybody got on this car so far. Now, if you're saying, well, Matt, if I'm going to go to TrueCar, I'll just bring the TrueCar offer into the dealership. Okay, the TrueCar offer is the average TrueCar selling price, which is a fair discount, but it's not an amazing discount. And dealerships that are good and they train their salespeople will have trained salespeople to say, Mr. or Mrs. customer, well, I know that you see that, but that's the reason it's the best prices. That car might have had a little damage on it. It might have had some mileage. They might have been using it on the lot. So we don't know exactly why that car was the best price. We can't give you the best price because our car is brand new with no damage, no miles. So we'd be more than happy to offer you the fair discount of the average TrueCar price, which is what most people are paying for the brand new ones with no miles on them. Guys, it's a super easy, simple thing to say. I train salespeople to say that sentence with my eyes closed because it's the perfect way to get around best pricing on TrueCar, because it's true. We don't know why they got that best price, but it could be just as true that it was a brand new car that they knew how to negotiate and they got them down to that price. So we are going to shoot, guys, for the best price visible on TrueCar's marketplace. So you're going to go to TrueCar, you're going to type it in, you're going to want to take a look at the best price possible. And when we call dealerships and we start shopping for cars, this is the price we're going to be asking for. Okay. Now you're going to want to do all these negotiations over the phone. This is my opinion. Do not go down to each individual dealership. It will take way too much time. You don't have to go down to talk about numbers over the phone, or talking about numbers, right? It can be done all over the phone. They want you in the dealership because they have a much higher percentage rate of closing you in the dealership. Don't give them this opportunity. Do not be a spot, guys, okay? Do not be that person. Now, what you're going to want to do is, while you're on the phone, though, be clear and direct. So always make what you want a very clear message. I'm interested in the 2020 Ford Focus. I want to pay this price. I want to pay $21,000 or whatever that price is on TrueCar. Remember, the best price. And be polite, okay, guys? It's a negotiation, okay? It is between two people. Yes, you are buying it from a dealership, but a person at the dealership is going to be selling it to you. The sales manager and the salesperson will be working to sell you this car. So be polite, build a relationship, and I guarantee it gets you a better deal. You will catch more flies with honey than you will with vinegar. And it's a silly expression, but it's really true. If you are polite and you guys speak with respect to each other, the negotiations will go better. Okay, I cannot tell you how many customers ruined deals that I was willing to give them by calling up and giving me attitude and demanding that I give them deals. This is no way to negotiate in any situation, so this is not how you're going to want to do it here. Now, when you're speaking with them, I would immediately, upon talking to them, let them know that this is important to me. Transparency is important to me. Everything that we talk about has to be true. Okay, I don't want to be misled. I don't want to mislead you. I need transparency, and it's vital if you want to earn my business. Okay, so let them know this early on, guys. It's going to set the foreground of telling them how you operate and how you want them to operate with you, being honest and transparent. Hold firm. Do not submit to pressure tactics, guys. This is why we're starting on the 18th of the month, because yes, it's the end of the month. Yes, that old myth is true. End of the month is the best time to buy a car, right? But the 18th is early enough where they can't tell you the end of the month's tomorrow, the end of the month's tomorrow, the end of the month's tomorrow, every hour of every day. So when it's the 25th or the 26th, I still have 5 days most likely to do this. So I still have a lot of time. Don't submit to pressure tactics, okay? And what's going to happen is, if you just keep selling them, hey, no, that's not my number, you keep pushing them off, they will come to you. Okay, when they come to you and when you get the number you've been looking for on this car, then and only then you will tell them about your trade. Now, whether you already spoke to this dealership or not depends on if you watched my lesson on trades and how you went about it. If you got an appraisal from the dealer that gives you the number, or that you start negotiating with, when you start the negotiation process, you tell them, I decided not to get rid of my car. Okay, guys, I cannot be any more clear about this. If you already told them that they've already given you an appraisal on your vehicle and you're negotiating with them now on the final car, when you start the negotiation process, they will ask you about the trade. You will tell them, I've decided that I'm not going to sell my trade. Once you've gotten the number to where you want it, once you've gotten the best price possible, you will then tell them, you know what, I'm going to trade in my car. Okay, guys? And again, I know it sounds kind of weird. I know it sounds kind of shady, but this is the best way. All right? This is the most honest they're going to be about what your car's worth now, because now that you got their best price on the car they're selling you, they cannot afford to take any money from the car's profit and give you more and hide money on your trade. So now they're going to have to give you the true value of your trade. Okay, guys, please follow my advice. If you watch my trading techniques, you know you can get a phone appraisal done and get a market value around what dealerships will pay for your car at dealerships that you're not even going to buy a car from, so that you already know what dealers are willing to offer you in a ballpark figure. Again, I highly recommend that. Once you have everything done, guys, once you have the numbers, once the trade is handled, you're going to get everything in writing. Okay, it's going to come form of a buyer's order. So this allows this locks our numbers, guys, because this is going to be a way of telling them, hey, I have everything we spoke about in writing, in numbers, and now you cannot change anything on me. They might ask you guys for a deposit. It's okay to give a deposit to a dealership to hold a car. Remember, a non-refundable deposit is not a real thing. Please watch car terms, guys. There's a lot of info in that one. All right, now once you get everything in writing, you're gonna sleep on it. Biggest rule, remember, sleeping on it. Okay, once you slept on it and you feel comfortable and you wake up in the light of day and everything still feels good to you, then it's fine. Let's call the dealership. We'll give them our info for leasing, because again, we can't get leases on our own from the bank. You're gonna have to let them do that, and then you can even leave them a deposit at this point. If you want to sleep on it first and leave a deposit, that's fine. If you feel comfortable once you get everything in writing, email to you, that's fine. All on how comfortable you feel, guys. All right, guys, so the next lesson is going to be all about picking up your car and kind of how to handle that and what that entails. So again, this is Matt with How to Buy a Car. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope these videos are informative and helping you guys out, and thanks for watching. Keep going.